If you're only here to cause drama, come sit next to me.
If you're looking for the bare necessities, you found them. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to the Real Housebears.
You know? Like, it's those two bears that talk, you know, and you listen to them, okay?
I got it, Kathy. And I got to do exactly.
You know, can't throw them as far as you could trust them kind of people.
Right,
like,
yeah.
And I was like, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, talk, you know, it's it's on that pod talk.
Pod talk.
On that Macintosh player.
Macintosh player.
That's where those two bears, you listen to them.
Are you not going to say the word?
God forbid I be long-winded.
I think I did. I think pod talk. I think that was it, wasn't it? I'm confused.
Sometimes I do talk in code.
Is it not pod talk? Kyle? Kyle, those, you know, is it that, but with those two bears talking, those...
What channel is it on?
Podcast. See, I was so close.
That was really great. That was really great.
I'm so glad you got it. Like,
as
soon as I said, you know.
As soon as I knew exactly what you were doing.
Kathy talks in shorthand.
That is so funny. That is really, really funny.
I had to give Kathy some respect on that one.
Respect to Kathy.
You know.
I do know. You know what I know is that we are wearing special shirts today.
And we're wearing special masks.
So remember last week when we were talking about Whitney accidentally leaving her house with her Iris and Beau face mask on?
Yeah, so we decided to do the same. You can't really see it on the screen.
Not too much, but we
are wearing the restorative enzyme mask.
So we are filming not only in our Iris and Beau face masks, but in the shirts that I got at Whitney's pop-up last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we told you all that I was going to Whitney's Iris and Beau pop-up shop last weekend, and I really didn't know what to expect. But it was a really fun, wild experience. If you all have seen our social media, I've posted Whitney tearing up the dance floor to some Britney Spears.
The videos. And it's so weird because I don't see anybody else dancing on the floor. I just see her.
No, there were other people dancing.
Okay,
but most of the time it was like her and one other person who were kind of like the middle of the dance floor.
Gotcha.
And then everyone else kind of standing around.
Interpretive dancing. Gotcha.
Maybe. But it was a really fun night. So when we got there, it was in like this little warehouse. Like, I was like, where am I?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a gay pride flag outside, and I wasn't clicked in on this was a pride celebration. I didn't know at the time. I didn't realize until after I'd shown up.
You didn't dress as much as you wanted to.
Oh, no, I was dressed very modestly. More modestly than I would normally be dressed to go much of anywhere.
You dress like you're going to church or something.
I know, right? Downstairs in this little warehouse space is just a nice table that has some Iris and Beau stuff that you can buy at a serious discount. Mm-hmm. And then these tie-dyed shirts that we're wearing that you can buy that have Whitney's season 1 tagline on it. This rose isn't afraid to handle a little prick. Or isn't scared to handle a little prick.
That's what my shirt says.
Yes, but that's not what my shirt says.
It's not what your shirt. What does your shirt say?
Let me back up a little bit.
Oh,
let's
okay.
back up.
Okay, let's back up.
So when we interviewed Whitney and Justin, which we promised, it's coming out. We're just still waiting on approval. Mm-hmm. And Whitney's on vacation right now, so
we don't want to bother her while she's on vacation.
But during that interview, Hunter asked Justin what his tagline would be.
Yes.
And he came up with, this rose isn't afraid to give a big prick. I think that was it, right?
It was something along those lines.
Yeah,
it was,
to give. I don't know if give was the exact.
I can't
word.
remember exactly what it was. It was so good.
I think it might have been give. I think it might.
Yeah,
And
this rose isn't scared to handle a big prick.
So, cool thing. After coming up with that tagline from our interview, Whitney had a custom shirt made for Justin with his tagline.
Yes.
Which I thought that was really cool that it, all
it
happened
sparked
because of,
from our
Yes,
podcast.
yes. And so the problem was when they got the first shirt back, instead of saying give a big prick, it also said handle a big prick. So Justin would be wearing a shirt saying this rose isn't afraid to handle a big prick. So clearly a mistake. They got a new one made with the correct tagline on it, and Whitney gave me Justin's incorrect shirt.
Yes.
So now we're both roses. You're not afraid to handle a little prick, and I guess I'm not afraid to handle a big prick. And if you listened to last week's episode, I guess it's my own.
What happened on the last episode, Bear?
Check out our Instagram and you'll find out. But I just want to wrap that up with saying it was a really lovely, lovely event. Justin is just still one of the most charming people I've ever met. When I showed up, he went, "Hey, I didn't know there were going to be celebrities here." And I was like, "Oh, Justin.
I know. I wish I could have been there to see Justin.
And so it was a really, really lovely evening. And, we've mentioned how much we love our Iris and Beau every week. So check
Well,
that out.
Justin and I are now having kind of like a bromance thing going on,
Does he know that?
He doesn't have to know it, but you know what? I'm really chill about it.
Yeah.
Justin, it's really chill. You could even ask Frank of New Jersey, because him and I have had a bromance, but you know what? I think I'm going to have room to bring in a different bromance.
Oh, my
so,
Lord.
Justin and I are kind of on a first name basis right now.
you are.
Like, we're pretty tight. But again, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries.
That's
because
good.
We're homies.
Right.
We're tight.
You are tight.
I am a little nervous about it. I'm a lot nervous about it.
And a good thing that we're wearing our Iris and Beau masks, because tonight, Druther Hardenwood is reunited for an evening of dinner and karaoke.
Yes.
So
I can't
our
wait.
skin's going to look smooth.
It's going to be so smooth.
Yeah, so housewives galore. Life is great.
Life is crazy.
Life is crazy, that's for sure.
Don't call me crazy. That's not nice to do, and it's not true.
This week of Beverly Hills wasn't too crazy. This was another filler episode, but you know what? I really enjoyed it.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, I'm normally oftentimes a bit bored with filler episodes, but I really enjoyed this week's episode.
Yeah, they didn't really toy with our emotions this episode. And we start off at this toy drive.
Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it. You almost had it.
I really tried.
Listen, it was so close.
I should have thought of two things about like toys and driving crazy.
That's why I'm still the king and you're the prince.
I'll tell you guys this, I did not see it ending this way.
That's true. Well, I hate to toy with your emotions too much, but we do start this episode off with Kyle and Crystal doing a toy drive. Mm-hmm. I'm all with Kyle. She's like, girl, I ate like 30 dumplings last night. She said 20.
Did. She literally ate like so many. Like they got so many clips of her eating dumplings.
Well, I bet, for one thing, they were very fresh, made right there.
And you get to put as much as you want of like what ingredients
and
you
I
want
would say the
one.
ladies probably didn't fill them too terribly full.
They looked big. They were
Did
definitely
they?
2 big bites.
Well,
for each one.
I'm with Kyle. I'm like, bring me the dumplings.
I would have loved to do that. PK and Dorit.
And Winnie, the dog. Have we met Winnie before?
Winnie the doggy.
I don't know if we've met
that
Winnie
we
the
got
dog
from
before.
Saudi Arabia, from some kind of prince.
Do I hear, Dory?
PK is tired.
Well, he's getting ready to go away for 2 weeks, and I really related with them here.
They were talking about how they were going to be away from each other.
Yeah, they're not ready for it.
They're not ready for it.
That's very much us.
It's very much us.
Like last weekend, Hunter was supposed to be gone for like 3 days. He made it 1 day.
I'm like Kyle's daughter seeing her sister for the first time, and she can't touch her, and she's just screaming, bawling.
We don't like to be apart
I don't
from
like
each
to be
other.
away from you for more than a day. It sucks.
Well, I don't like you being away for more than a day. I really related to them. I would like an 8-foot Hunter Harden stand up to bring with me everywhere I go.
We can make that happen.
I know we could make that happen.
Have I thought this is a little narcissistic? Yes.
And then, we start off with Kyle and Crystal doing charity, and now Lisa Rinna is at Project Angel Food.
Project Angel Food.
She's like filming a promo, but they haven't actually hit the record button yet.
Such amateurs. You know what? They would have been kicked right off of Big Boss or Your Next Big Shot.
Big Shot with Bethany.
Yes.
Big Shot with Bethany.
Just ruined that.
Why do we always have such a hard time remembering the name of that?
I don't know.
It's better to allude to the situation because you never know who's listening.
Before the first commercial break, it's mostly a bunch of quick scenes. Then we move to Erica being picked up by Sutton in her new Bentley, and Erica's like, ooh, I love this car.
Oh, it's so rich.
She's luxurious.
So expensive.
And then Sutton gives us another baller moment. She's like, you know what? I hate wearing masks, so I'm going to rent out the whole spa.
That's kind of her MO. She rents out whatever, getting clothes, cars,
And
spas.
I saw a meme, I think it was just today, that said, make liking Crystal and Sutton normal. And it's moments like these when Sutton's just like, again, what I expect a Beverly Hills housewife to be. Throw money at the problem. Well, not a serious problem, but throw money at it and get what you want. That's what I want out of my housewives. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, Sutton. I mean, I have a lot of good things to say about Sutton in this episode, surprisingly.
Oh, good.
But it was really super sweet for her to not only rent out the spa, but bring a large bag full of snacks and yummies to enjoy.
It was like a post-divorce goodie bag.
Yeah, it was like anything
That
that
is
you want.
so thoughtful because it's just filled with a bunch of things to like take your mind away from stuff, to indulge in the things that make you happy.
Comfort
Stuff. I thought that was the sweetest thing to do for anybody.
That
to be
was
honest with
just
you.
as sweet as renting out the spa.
Yeah,
it was just a
it
really
was.
thoughtful thing.
Yes.
Is this what girlfriends do for girlfriends?
That's right.
Erica and Tom have not communicated. But Erica's like, what we gotta say? She knows how cold he is. She knows how mean he is. Like, now we're hearing Erica talk about Tom in a completely different way than she has for
She
the past several
always
years.
stuck up for him in any kind of form of fashion.
But now she's like, he's always been hateful.
And that flashback to that dinner with Lisa Vanderpump and stuff is just kind of rough.
Yeah.
Somebody to dismiss your partner like, excuse me, I'm talking, like that is so
It's demeaning.
demeaning and rude.
and I assertive
can
of
see,
your dominance.
and it shows even more of what she was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was always defending him and always talking high about him, but now we're getting to see her real thoughts about him and how her life has been. I feel bad because there's at one point in this episode she talks about how she was constantly comparing her marriage to everyone else's marriage.
Yeah, she says that later when she was like, I don't have that kind of relationship like Kyle.
She
and the relationship
never
like
did, and she
Dorit.
kept it secret this whole time.
She really wants someone who is as much of a friend as a partner.
As a partner.
and a lover and-
It just broke my heart to
Actually,
hear say that.
I have some notes about that.
Okay, we'll
later
get
when
back
it
to
comes
that. We'll get
up.
back to that.
Then we come over to Crystal taking a kickboxing lesson with Rashad. Hey, Rashad.
I would like to do kickboxing. That'd
You
be
know
fun.
what?
I think it would be good for our cardio.
Absolutely. And our core and our stretch it when our limberness, is that the word? Who am I asking? Our ability to be limber.
I know what you're thinking. I literally know what you're thinking.
Our ability to be limber.
You know,
You limber.
stretchability.
You got it, limber.
Then why are you laughing at me?
It's just funny because you like stare at me trying to get help from me.
Crystal started kickboxing to lose her baby weight, and then that
while
baby weight
she's-
comes out like a tornado.
And while she's doing that, that baby weight is coming into the ring. And she's trying to keep that baby weight out of the ring.
Yeah, she's like, "Go away, baby weight."
And oh no, my mask. I just touched my face.
Go away. But then if she's a mini Crystal, then is Crystal her own baby weight?
I'm like a freak show.
Don't, it's way too early to blow my mind. I can't handle that right now.
See, it's that M. Night Shyamalan, or however you say it.
Shyamalan.
Shamalama ding dong.
But her daughter loses it when she can't be out there anymore and has to
She's
take
like,
a shower.
"Don't you make me get sweaty and take a shower."
But what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Crystal has to deal with Zoe a bit differently because Zoe acts differently. You know, I have never been a parent, so I really don't have a judgment of that, that kind of... It makes sense to differentiate. You know, as a teacher, you differentiate different learning styles. And Zoe apparently works better with the power of suggestion and making her believe it was her own idea than ordering around.
That sounds like what my mom was doing to me.
Exactly.
I wasn't always right.
Yes. You are.
That was a good, close call.
I don't do anything with you with the power of suggestion.
Good, because I'm in control.
Absolutely.
So delusional.
Erica goes into cryotherapy. It takes it down to negative 111 degrees.
I would love to try that. I think that stops your entire cells from growing for a couple minutes. So you're 10 minutes younger than you were.
As a big furry bear, it'd probably just feel like negative 80 degrees.
All of your fur would frost over. Oh my gosh.
So I don't know how long.
I would love that though. I need everything to be ice cold. I'm constantly sweating. I would be like, turn it down more. I need it to be colder in here.
I don't have frostbite
Someone
yet.
splash water on me while I'm in there.
I wonder how long, because I don't know how long Erica went in, but Sutton only went in for a minute.
I think I don't think it's long that you stay in there. It's definitely not over a couple minutes because you get frostbite, right?
Yeah, or hypothermia at least.
But they got those little mittens and
I don't
stuff.
remember. Did their heads stick out of the top though?
No, not in this one, but there are ones that your head stick out of the top.
I love that and apparently I'm cis male. Ask her, you want to go a minute? And she's like, girl, yes.
And you're a cis bear. They go from extreme cold to extreme heat. And I guess that's really good for your body.
Yeah, for sure.
Stimulates growth.
Sutton asked the question that I've always wanted to ask Erica myself. Was she upset that Tom never came to see her in Chicago?
Yeah, because she made an excuse on Watch What Happens Live saying that he wasn't able to come, but when he was coming, COVID is stopped.
Right.
But it sounds like
He never
he
intended.
didn't even have any intentions of even going. And it kind of, that blows my mind too, because Erica, she's like, listen, everything that you have put into me financially is finally paying off. I'm in Broadway and you don't even want to, it just kind of shows how disinterested he was in their relationship and with her.
And
it wasn't like he was too busy. You could just do it for 24
he could have
hours.
easily done it. He could have easily done it. He just simply had no intentions. And that's where she talks about, I never had the kind of relationship with Kyle and Mauricio and Dorit and PK.
I really hope that after this divorce and stuff that she stays on being a housewife so we can see this new journey for Erica, because with Tom, she was depressed and sad that she never showed the ladies and she never showed anything about her life besides Erica Jane, because that was the only thing going on in her life. She couldn't say anything about Tom because they had no relationship.
It reminds me of this song that I love very much from a musical called The World Goes Round, called Isn't This Better? And the whole song is about a woman convincing herself and anyone who would listen that having a steady partner who's just there is better than having a passionate relationship. Just trying to convince herself.
Yeah.
And that it made me, when Erica was talking about that last night, that's what immediately where I went to, because that song makes me cry every time.
I feel bad because she has just kind of felt in debt to him this whole time because of what he's done financially, but she's also very proud that she's accomplished all these things and wants him to be a part of it.
As she should be. As she should be.
It's sad to find this all, like, more of this that's being unveiled is more heartbreaking than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and a little bit unexpected.
Unexpected, very unexpected.
She really covered it up well over the years.
She's an actress.
Well, Erica wraps it up by thanking Sutton for a really, really lovely day. And what a sweet, sweet gesture it was. And how it really does show the best side of Sutton.
Sutton is that type of person that thinks beyond just the first interaction. She thinks about getting a gift or something that they would like or appreciate. That would make them feel good.
Yeah, we're seeing, the best and the worst of Sutton, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, Sutton, let's be friends.
Right.
Girl, yes.
Next, Garcelle is wrapping up an episode of The Real. And her sons are home with Taz, Garcelle's assistant. The Kyle fish died.
Kyle is very annoying.
From being too basic?
Maybe.
So rude.
Glinda, they got the assistant and the housekeeper there.
Dang.
I want that kind of life. Garcelle's there by herself most of the time.
Did you see that big chunks of fried cauliflower that they were making?
I didn't pay attention.
It looked bomb. I want to try that. Just big chunks of fried cauliflower.
You haven't had that before? It's yummy for
Well,
sure.
I've had it at restaurants, but making it at home.
Well, Glinda was going to buy a replacement fish before the boys figured it out, but the boys are homeschooled. When were you going to make that magic change?
I'm surprised any of the kids noticed it at all.
Right. And then, I think Garcelle's storyline really this season is on the hunt for love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she asks her boys how they would feel about her getting remarried. And one of them was like, no.
Done.
I don't want it.
Period.
I don't want it. And she's
I'm
like...
the man of the house now.
Yeah, she's like, you don't want me to have love? And he was like, you can just love me.
I'm the only love you need.
And Garcelle was like, okay. All right. I mean, Mom, that's all a mom ever
That's all
wants
that,
to.
yeah, oh my gosh.
If I said that to my mom, she would probably start crying. I mean, it would be like that best day ever.
My mom would come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, you love your mother so much.
She would say, what are you up to? Funny because it's true.
I would tread lightly, but I'm open.
But I thought that her taking that as a declaration of love for his mother was really, really super sweet.
And apparently Garcelle really likes Brad Pitt.
Who'd have thought?
Who knew?
Who'd have thought?
Current Brad Pitt or early 2000s Brad Pitt?
I mean, she's willing to marry him right now. So I guess today.
I mean, I'd be willing to marry anybody.
I mean, I'd marry him right now. Oh, sorry, I'm married.
It's all right. I'd be like, I would too.
I mean, Brad Pitt is not on my hall pass
Radar,
list.
but I mean, it's Brad Pitt. Of course, I don't care what he looks like.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
I'd still
I'm married
do
to
it.
Brad Pitt, and he's got money.
I mean, and I'd still do him for sure.
I mean, I would ask him about movies that I liked that he was in.
Oh, he acts? Erica picks up Rinna in her new Range Rover. And apparently, the day before, Erica saw Garcelle, and Garcelle told her that she heard a rumor that Tom has been seen out with another woman, which eventually did come out in the news. Erica even tweeted about it, and I think removed the tweet. Like, this is the DA that my husband has been effing or something. Like
Oh my gosh, but like, dang, how old is he? And he needs more trim?
He's 80-something, and well, Erica's like, listen, if you're 80-something and you need it that bad, go get it, girl.
I mean, go.
I understand Erica be like.
I mean, when you have that poison, you need to get it out. I
mean,
just
and
do what you need to do. But dang.
As much as I believe Erica loved him, do I believe that they had a hot and heavy sexual relationship?
No, I don't
Not
think they've
myself.
had a good.
In the beginning, for sure, I'm sure they
yes.
did, but not so much anymore. So, I guess if you're separated, get yours, Tom. But Erica has heard the rumors before this, and Erica's like, there have been a lot of rumors about me dating all kinds of men, like
And going to sex shops.
yeah, yeah. So, and all of them, well, the dating rumors were apparently not true. And then we finally get to the Rinna bomb. She's like, "Oh, you want to talk about dating? My daughter is dating Scott Disick." I just wrote vomit. So why don't we take a little break and we'll come back and talk poorly about Scott Disick some more.
You need to throw up. I need to wash this mask off my face and
Yes.
get out of this hot closet.
Probably just gonna have a lot of anonymous sex.
Bye.
Bye. Hello. We're back.
That's creepy.
And welcome to the Real Housebears.
I don't like that.
Hello, everyone.
Or are you being a creepy Scott Disick?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, that wasn't really a Scott Disick imitation, but he's creepy.
I don't know who he is.
He dated and was practically married to Kourtney Kardashian and had three kids, and he's 37 and Amelia's 19. Which, I don't really care. I mean, I don't care about an age gap relationship so much, but when she's only 19 and he's almost 40, I feel like she has some growing up to do before she can be the adult to, support their partnership.
Yeah, there's just things that at that young age, you honestly don't have a lot of life experience by then.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't realize what's going to come into this relationship with 3 kids and you being a stepmom at 19. Do you know what that entails? Do you know what that's going to make your life like? I don't think she should be doing it because she's 19. I don't have much room to say about age gaps.
Yeah.
But when I got into an age gap relationship my first time, he didn't have kids.
Right.
So I just feel like the whole kids thing aspect throws kind of a big wrench into the situation.
Man, I just don't get it. Like, Kourtney had an impossible time practically getting away from him, but they had kids together. But I don't see, I think he's slimy. Sorry. I just think he's slimy. I don't know how he has a single girlfriend who is successful and smart and beautiful.
Oh, I don't know.
But Harry Hamlin was once in a huge age gap relationship where he was the young one.
Yep.
Erica obviously was in an age gap relationship.
Erica.
But either way, Rinna is not into it.
Yeah.
She's like, should I reach out to Kris Jenner? I don't know what to do. And they arrive at this really cute Christmas store.
You love a Christmas shop.
I love a Christmas shop.
And I do too. I can't wait for the holidays.
I know. I love, every time I go into a Christmas shop, I have to buy an ornament. That's just how it goes.
I love
a
the
Christmas
holiday
shop.
season.
And here in Park City at Christmas time, it's really quite beautiful.
Even just walking up and down.
Yes. There's a cute town, Highlands, North Carolina. We used to go
Oh my
visit
gosh,
a lot.
that
with
one was awesome.
Cute Christmas stores. I just love a cute. And I love that Rinna brought Santa hats. I didn't understand why she brought them at first.
Yeah. And did you notice Lisa's shirt has big lips on it and her mask has big lips on it?
Of course. I was kind of sad watching Erica buy Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
It should be happy, but it's not so much happy because you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, and
Holiday season's going to be hard for her this year.
absolutely. And it's sad that Rena's mom, Lois, loves Christmas so much, and they're not going to be able to be together for Christmas because of COVID. And then Kyle FaceTimes with them while they're there in the middle of the store and invites them to drinks the following night.
Ooh, at Hartley's, was that?
You know what? I normally do write down the restaurants, but for some reason I didn't write that one down.
I think I wrote it down. I think it was Hartley's or something with an H. Huntley. It was the Huntley.
There you go. I do recall seeing that.
That's right.
Probably the best scene of the whole episode.
Is Mauricio grilling meat? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I like what you said.
Good.
Just this scene in general, when Kyle and Portia are cooking food together, and Portia's being a total teenager. Like it's kind of like watching Teresa Giudice's kids grow up too. Like they're so sweet when they're babies, and then there's just nothing, there's nothing you can do to have a teenager not be a teenager.
And a switch just flips, and all of a sudden they're just like, go away.
But Kyle really loves being a mom. She just loves being a mom. Portia is having a really hard time with her sister Sophia being gone to college. They're really super, super close sisters.
And did they say that her bar mitzvah was missed due to COVID?
They're getting ready for it.
Oh, okay.
They're getting ready for it. I don't know if it's been postponed, maybe.
And she hasn't even stepped foot in her new school yet
yeah,
either.
it's all been virtual.
So of course she's going to be moody.
Yeah, and plus she's lonely. She needs friends. But then Sophia, surprise, surprise, shows up, and Portia almost dies.
You would think somebody shot her dog in front of her.
Yeah, it was hard to believe that it was happy tears.
Yeah, she lost it.
As excited and overwhelmed as she was to see her, could you imagine? But I'm so glad you're home, but I can't touch you or be close to you for 2 days.
I know. Oh, it's just like cruel and unusual punishment.
I wonder if they stuck with that when they weren't on camera.
I wouldn't.
I mean, she did test negative for COVID, but it would be.
But when they touch toes and she just loses it even harder, that's kind of like me leaving for the airport and them trying to take me away onto the plane, and I'm like, no.
And the airport makes it even worse because that's where I proposed.
I know. So, every time I go through that airport, I always look over where you proposed to me. So and it makes me miss you even more.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
I know you did.
I'm going to believe you.
I love this giant painting of Dorit. Most of the time when housewives have paintings of themselves, they're crazy looking or obnoxious looking.
This one was pretty.
It had a weird, Frida Kahlo vibe.
Okay, I get that.
But I thought it was beautiful. I thought it looked just like Dorit.
Yeah.
I thought it also looked like art.
I love that she admits that it was it's narcissistic to have large pictures of yourself in your home, but when I used to live in a basement before we had Instagram and all that crazy stuff, I had pictures printed out that I just posted in my collage of friends of just me. Yeah. And my friends would be like, why do you have pictures of just you? I'm like, look how good I look in that picture. I'm like, great.
Oh my God, it's stunning.
You invented the selfie.
Yeah.
He's iconic, honey. Hello.
Crystal is getting ready to go to Kyle's dinner drink
Get
party.
her glam on.
I'm surprised to find out that she's a tomboy and really has no idea or desire.
That makes me love her so much more. I told you she reminds me of somebody that I miss a lot from my younger days, and her being a tomboy just solidifies that.
I
don't know what it is about her.
It was surprising to me because she always looks so well put together. And then Kathy shows up so they can ride together.
Kathy!
Mm-hmm.
And cut to Sutton showing up to pick up Kyle.
I love that all these women are driving in pairs all the time.
And Sutton looks like a present.
She does, and she looks all right.
I'm going to say something controversial. I liked it, all of it.
I liked
that she was wearing pants. Mm-hmm. I thought that flattered her figure. Mm-hmm. I liked that big giant bow. I liked exactly how Sutton looked.
Yeah, I did too.
And I
honestly
think
like
that was not the most popular opinion from the rest of the cast because they're always like, oh, like, you look like a bow, you look like a bow.
Yeah.
But I just really thought she looked, that's one of my favorite looks. It's maybe my favorite look for Sutton this season.
It didn't look like a curtain either, so
Right.
I liked that a lot. But Kathy, like, shaping her nails in the car is oddly satisfying.
Well, Crystal's trying to have a conversation with Kathy.
And there's so many, like, pauses and, like, moments of just silence. And I'm just waiting for Kathy to say the next thing because she's just, I don't know what's going to come out of her mouth.
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, they show up first. Garcelle does end up coming, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they show up first. Crystal orders a delicious sounding like skinny margarita, and Kathy just gets a Coke. Does she not drink?
I don't know.
Maybe she doesn't.
We'll have to keep her up.
Then Dorit shows up, and then Garcelle shows up. Garcelle shows up in a double-breasted coat.
Talk about double-breasted. That shit made me scream.
Y'all, I'm not kidding you. When she came out and those buttons, those round buttons, were at perfect nipple placement. Hunter literally didn't realize at first that they were buttons and screamed, thinking that her nipples were sticking out.
I screamed nipples at the top of my lungs and rewound it.
It was so funny. But we did have to rewind it because I was like, what?
I mean, those button placements weren't the best button placements. What is with these brown leather jackets with nipples?
Yeah, we saw that in another city
Jersey?
recently. I feel like it was New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Salt Lake City. God, that was a long time ago.
Yes. Oh,
Holy cow. Lisa Barlow's Successful Businesswomen Luncheon or whatever.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Garcelle has Dorit stand up to show off her Louis Vuitton outfit. Then Sutton and Kyle show up, and Sutton does like a little strip tease with her mask. It's very anticlimactic.
I know. I was like, wait, what?
This is just a big anticlimactic evening.
Renica, I did it again.
Renica, you done.
We're just going to call him
thing.
Renica. We're just going to call him Renica.
This is special. This is really, really, really special.
Renica show up, and I love Erica's gold boots.
I said that too. I wrote it down. I'm like, Erica's gold boots with that fall neutral earth colors.
I didn't like them
loved it.
together. I wrote, I love her boots. I love her outfit. I don't love them together.
Oh, I loved them together.
I did not.
You know, gold comes from the earth.
Gold comes from the jewelry store.
I loved it. I thought it was like a burst of flair to an otherwise dreary color combination.
I support that point of view.
Thank you.
This too shall pass. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, good.
I'm just going to say this too shall pass.
Okay, good.
Erica gets another hot toddy.
How has nobody said anything about Garcelle's nipple jacket? How has nobody been like, oh, those buttons look like nipples on your jacket, Garcelle?
I know.
It's freaking me out.
So Kathy asks Rinna how her girls are, and then it brings her right back to Scott Disick, and everyone's like, he's too damn old, and he has 3 kids. But Erica says, I wouldn't say anything because I was the daughter dating an older man.
Yep.
Kyle says, I just simply would not allow it.
Period.
Garcelle says, hell no. Sutton would lock her up in the house, take away her cell phone, and spank her.
I mean, that's the perfect way to create a child that will never love you again.
But then Kathy thinks, as a mother who has had daughters in the public eye, that it could be a lot worse than Scott Disick. And I guess that's a good way to look at it, to be honest with you.
I mean, Kathy, she turns this all around surprisingly to get everybody to look at a different mindset of this situation with Scott Disick.
And I don't know where Dorit was, but she steps up and Brenna finds another excuse to talk about Scott. I wonder if she gets a little bit of a joy out of the publicity of Scott Disick, you know?
I don't know.
Girl, yes.
And Dorit's like, oh, is it Mazel Tov or no?
No. She's like, should I be celebrating?
But is Dorit Jewish?
Is Scott...
Or was it just a turn of
Scott
phrase?
Jewish? Yeah, it might be just like, oh.
Or maybe the Rennas and Hamlins are Jewish. I don't know. Maybe it was just a turn of phrase.
It's just
but Kathy immediately asks, isn't that Merry Christmas?
Oh, Kathy.
And then in the confessional, the producer's like, Kathy, what do you think that Mazel Tov means?
Happy celebration, good luck, Merry Christmas.
No, Mazel Tov is like congratulations.
Kathy recommends to Rinna to tell her daughter to not be the cow that bought the milk for free.
Absolutely.
And then everyone has a debate about what the actual saying is.
Oh my gosh.
We actually had to Google it because the more we said it, the more we questioned it.
Yeah, we actually had to look it up to see what it was. 'Cause we
Don't
said
buy
it too
the
much.
cow when the milk is free.
Well, you gotta get your meat somewhere, so have your steak.
Erica Jane's Jane of the Jungle outfit with some extra money is just thrilling me right now. This outfit is
I'm
just
glad that you
killing
loved
me.
it. I'm sorry that I didn't feel as strongly about it.
That's going to create some discord in our relationship.
Oh my, we might not make it through the night. So Garcelle's oldest, I guess, son, Oliver, is dating a woman that has 3 kids already, and now they've had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the son that has battled addiction that we've learned about before.
Yes.
But I love that Garcelle claims these, step-grandchildren, for lack of a better term.
as her own.
That's
Yeah.
really nice. That's really nice.
And she kind of gives Lisa a different perspective of if this does happen, this is what could happen.
Right.
Like, it was a bad idea for our family, but now those kids are my life.
Yeah.
And it's been seemingly really good for her son as well. So that was kind of sweet of Garcelle.
That was really nice. Kathy's mother did not like Kathy's husband.
Nope.
Mauricio's mom did not like Kyle.
Yeah.
And Kyle won her over by writing her a really lovely letter.
I mean,
Who knew that-
simplicity.
yeah, that can really turn it around. Garcelle is apparently now gone from a dry spell to dating several men at once. Her app is on fire.
She has 3 boyfriends right now.
You better get it.
You better go, girl.
She said that people on the dating apps don't actually believe it's her.
She keeps getting reported because they think that it's a catfish.
And then the conversation turns to how nothing lasts forever. And then Sutton sings Nothing Lasts Forever. And then Kathy's like, that was cute, Thomasina.
I have no
Where
idea. I was
did
like,
that
what is
come?
that? What is a Thomasina?
So apparently, Kathy was just recently caught up on the peeping Tom situation.
With the coat and
between
Crystal.
Sutton and Crystal. Like, oh man.
Don't bring it up, Kathy. Don't even joke about it.
This is the one time that I didn't really quite. But you know what? Sutton, she doesn't mess around with Kathy Hilton. She takes whatever Kathy Hilton says.
And whatever Kathy says goes.
Oh, wow, really?
She's like, you could have, there's a ton of different nicknames that you could use. I just wish it wasn't Thomasina.
I really like Kitty Cat or Crazy Cat Lady is good. Those could be nicknames. But Peeping Thomasina, that's just not my favorite.
She took it well
She did.
until, again, the word violated came up.
Yes.
Why didn't Crystal use something like embarrassed or something less offensive? And Crystal's like, I'm pretty sure that I have already cleared the air on this about 18 times.
I do love it that Kyle is the one that brought this up and started talking about this word violation to bring this drama back to light, which causes Sutton and Crystal to go at it with each other.
But again, now what we're doing is we're focusing on the use of the word violated instead of focusing on any of the original issues that were at hand. It's another one of those situations like, I might have done something wrong, but now you use the word violated so we can focus on that.
I mean, and Sutton brings up, Kathy walked in on Sutton fully naked and she didn't say she was violated. And
I mean, Crystal has, again, she's ready to retract the word. She really is ready for it to be like, okay, maybe I overreacted a little bit. I don't know. Either way, this is all stupid.
But she does hang on to that word. She's like, I'm not going to let go of that word violated yet.
Well, no, she's ready to get rid of the word
Well,
violated,
now.
but she just doesn't want to have to defend something that she's already put to rest.
yeah.
That's like, I've already put this to rest. Now you guys want to bring back up every other detail of every conversation that we had, and now we're arguing about stupid stuff all over again.
And now Sutton
She's
is
like-
getting pissed.
I'm getting angry.
The reality is
and
what
this
it
is
is.
what you do not want to happen. You do not want me getting angry.
Yeah.
And she has to defend herself.
But Crystal kind of laughs a little bit about it.
Crystal says, "Stop, lady."
Right, stop.
I was like,
lady.
"Oh my goodness."
And Crystal's like, I really don't think that any of my conversations sounded all of that dire. And Dorit's like, you sounded pretty intense when you were talking to
And
me.
when you go back to it, it sounded very bad when she was talking to Dorit about it. She made it seem more sinister and creepy for sure.
But you know what? Leave it to Kathy to
Save the
smooth it
day.
over. So she's like, listen, everyone's under a lot of pressure. Crystal was away from her child and her husband. I was nervous to go, but luckily I had Kyle. I met Erica before. And I have my English girl, Dorit.
Are you talking to me? I'm not British.
Do I hear Dorit?
Dorit's eyes got so big, she's like, I'm from Connecticut.
And I love it that she keeps on going and nobody corrects her until Dorit finally says, "My husband is British.
Yeah.
I'm not British."
Listen, Dorit has to be a little bit understanding of why. I mean, her accent has gotten more American over the seasons.
It sure
But
has.
she still is quite the enunciator. Well, Kathy has never heard anything but good stuff about Sutton, so she believes Sutton is a good person. A lot of this is maybe just a case of telephone. Mm-hmm. But how is that possible? Because everyone's been talking pretty directly, straight face to face with everybody.
About the same thing.
Yeah,
And nothing's getting turned in, like the words haven't changed.
Yeah, so not really, Kathy, but thank you for smoothing that over. But again, Sutton's just like, if you'll just retract the word violated. And Chris is like, okay, finally, can this please be over? Well, now we are over. You know, this was a short episode. Again, kind of a filler episode, but I really enjoyed it better than most filler episodes.
Yeah, me too. I would have to agree on that.
Well, thank you all for joining us this week. If you haven't been checking out our socials lately, Hunter's really good about embarrassing me from last week's episode. And we'll make sure to include some stuff from this week's episode so you can see our Whitney and Justin Rose tagline t-shirts and our beautiful skin from our Iris and Beau face
Oh my
mask.
gosh.
So join us on the socials on Facebook and Instagram. We are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can also email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
You can also find us on YouTube at The Real House Bears, and you could listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you would please give us a nice little written review and give us a 5-star rating, we really rely on all those.
Thank you all so much. Look forward to... Oh, happy 4th of July.
Yep.
Feeling very patriotic.
Pew, pew.
To-
4th of
to-
July. Bang, bang.
To
pew,
our
pew.
American listeners.
Oh.
To our we have other listeners from other countries, luckily.
I mean, I told you last week that we're translated into a bunch of different
not
languages
true, but
because we are in such high demand.
Well, on that BS, have a great week.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, it's on.
Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh my god, you are so good at counting.
I can count to 10 a couple times.
You're like a mathematician.
I can't do magic.